You're about to see your baby differently. Welcome to Baby Matrix, where science meets the mystery of the developing mind. Your baby locks eyes with you across the room, and for 3, 4, 5 seconds, an eternity in infant time, she doesn't look away. Not at the mobile spinning above her crib, not at the bright toy you're waving, at your face, specifically at your eyes. This isn't an accident, and it isn't affection in the way we usually think of it. A newborn's visual world is blurry, low contrast, almost monochrome for the first weeks of life. Everything smudged and dim, like looking through frosted glass. And yet, out of that fog, one shape consistently rises into focus and holds her attention longer than anything else in the room: the human face. Why would a brain that can barely process a striped pattern or a moving shadow dedicate so much of its limited visual power to staring at you? The answer isn't sentimental, it's architectural. Somewhere in the folds of that 4-week-old brain, a specific piece of neural machinery is already running, already searching, already locking on. Not because she recognizes you yet, not because she loves the shape of your smile, but because her nervous system was built before birth to treat the face as the most urgent visual target in existence. What is that machinery actually doing, and why would evolution wire something so specific into a brain that can't even see straight yet? That locking gaze isn't a random pattern matching. It's a dedicated system. Deep in the newborn brain, structures in the subcortex, the older, more primitive layers beneath the thinking brain, come online before birth and stay tuned to one template: 2 dark blobs above a central one, roughly face-shaped, roughly face-spaced. Researchers call this a preference for face-like configurations, and it's strikingly crude. Show a newborn a real face and an upside-down arrangement of 3 dots, and she'll often stare at both with equal interest as long as the dots roughly mimic where eyes and a mouth should sit. Her brain isn't reading identity, it's reading geometry. This matters because the cortex, the outer brain responsible for detailed recognition, memory, emotional nuance, is still wiring itself in those early weeks, laying down connections far too slowly to explain why face staring starts almost immediately. The subcortical system is the stopgap, a fast, low-resolution filter that doesn't wait for the slower learning circuits to catch up. It fires the moment a face-like pattern crosses her blurry field of vision, flooding attention toward it, before she has any concept of mother or father at all. And that sustained stare does something further. Every second spent locked on your face is a second of intense input flowing into the visual cortex, sculpting it, strengthening the very connections that will soon let her recognize you specifically. The staring isn't the result of developing face recognition, it's the mechanism building it. Zoom out far enough and this crude eye-mouth detector stops looking like a quirk and starts looking like a survival tool inherited from deep in evolutionary history. A newborn gazelle can stand and run within minutes of birth. A human infant can't lift her own head. In evolutionary terms, we're born catastrophically unfinished, helpless, immobile, entirely dependent on a caregiver staying close and paying attention for months on end. A brain that can't yet walk or grasp or speak has exactly one tool available to secure that survival: attention itself. By locking on to the face, the single most information-dense, expression-rich, attention-holding shape in its environment, the infant does something remarkably strategic without any conscious strategy at all. She holds the gaze of the adult who's holding her, and in doing so, she recruits care. Comparative studies of other primates show something similar but less pronounced. Infant monkeys orient to faces too, but human infants show an unusually strong, unusually early bias toward this exact configuration, matching our unusually long, unusually dependent infancy. Evolution didn't leave bonding to chance or to slow developing love alone. It hardwired a reflex, engineered before birth, running before the cortex is even ready, whose entire job is to bind two nervous systems together through nothing more than sustained eye contact. The stare isn't just perception, it's the opening move in the oldest survival contract there is. So the next time your baby holds your gaze a beat longer than seems possible, what you're witnessing isn't a fluke of underdeveloped vision. It's one of the oldest, most urgent pieces of software the human brain runs, executing exactly as designed. Long before she knows your name, before she can smile on purpose, before memory itself has fully switched on, her nervous system has already chosen you as the most important shape in the world. That crude subcortical reflex, dots roughly shaped like eyes and a mouth, is quietly laying the foundation for everything that follows: recognition, attachment, language, trust, the entire architecture of human connection, built stair by stair in those first blurry weeks. It's easy to think of a baby's gaze as passive, as something that simply happens to her. But it's closer to the truth to say she's reaching, using the only tool a newborn brain has fully mastered to pull a caregiver into orbit and keep them there. Every stare is a small act of biological insistence. Stay close, keep watching, keep me alive. Long after the blur clears and the world sharpens into focus, that first act of looking remains the origin point of everything we call love. It didn't start as love at all. It started as survival. And somewhere along the way, survival became the deepest bond we know. Curious what's actually driving all of this from the moment they're born? The video beside you unpacks the science. Wondering what you can actually do with it starting tonight? The one next to it shows you exactly that.